Hey, before we get into it, loosespears.com, my tour is on sale right now. Sydney, Newcastle, Brisbane, and Gold Coast dates are on sale right now. More cities are going to be announced soon. If you don't see your city on loosespears.com, go to loosespears.com/giglist, put your city in there, and I'll send you a message when I'm on the way. But Brisbane, Sydney, Gold Coast, and Newcastle are on sale right now and filling up really quick. Brisbane is half gone already. Sydney is soon to follow. So get your tickets now and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode
277.
271? 277 of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. I'm back. I have returned. This is the first one that I'm recording the week that it actually comes out. I am now at full expansion, all right? This is as wide as they're going to get. Look at this shit. You could run a train through there. Not like that. You dirty animals. Look, I don't want to clarify a bit of controversy that I've been seeing a lot everywhere in my comment section, and I'm sick of it. I do not have a Lisp, all right? I don't have a Lisp. This is Spearhead Sundays. Listen to my S's. They're perfect. I don't have a Lisp, all right? I'm not going, welcome to Spearhead Sundays. I don't sound like fucking Daffy Duck, all right? I sound like I have a dick in my mouth at all times, okay? So get it right. I don't have a Lisp. My mouth is full of fucking metal. It's so annoying. My tongue hurts. There's a fucking cheese grater in there, all right? It's like an unmoisturized stone cock. It sucks. But that is better than having a Lisp. I don't have a Lisp, all right? I want apologies now. I am whistling a little bit every now and then. I will whistle through my two front teeth. And it's embarrassing, and I can't control it, and I never know when it's going to happen. It happens so rarely that when it does happen, everyone notices. You know? It's not like someone with Tourette's. Okay, I lisp a little bit there. But for the most part, I do not have a lisp. It's not like a guy with Tourette's who is dropping the N-bomb every 30 seconds, so you just learn to ignore it. It's like once every couple of days I'll let out a real strong whistle. And it's not good. I see. I'm now my fucking tooth gap has gotten so big, because before, like right after surgery, it was like a Mike Tyson tooth gap. You know, it's kind of cute. We look natural. You know. And you couldn't fit anything in there. You couldn't see my tongue on the other end of it. It was just there, and it just looked like, you know, I was born like that. Now it looks like I saw that fucking makeup ad, Get the London Look, and I was like, fuck yeah, and then I busted out a chisel. Now it's like so fully unnatural that when people serve me at cafes and stuff, I see them look directly into my mouth. And because they do that, they get to see all the way down the back of my throat, because the fucking window-sized hole there now. Right? Not the first time someone's tried to get to the back of my throat. Hey! That's disgusting. Look, I'm back. I don't know how long this episode is going to go for. It all depends on when my mouth starts to hurt, you know? Quite similar to a blowjob, okay? And it's not one of those... like Valentine's Day blowjobs either. You know, this is like a regular one. So I'm going to stop when I get sick of it. And that could be in 2 minutes. That could be in an hour. All right? It all comes down to how much housework did you do this week. All right? And if you didn't do the bins, guess what? It's going to be quick. So look, I haven't been here for 6 weeks. And I just smashed out 4 minutes on dick. So I think I'm getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, man, the break was terrible. I hated it. I was in pain, and I was off my head. My first time ever getting high, ever in my life. Right? The guy, the last thing I remember was the anaesthetist going, all right, we're going to give you a couple of whiskeys now. And then he hit the injection button, and then I woke up and my head was 3 times bigger. 3 times the size that it was. And then in hospital, excuse me, are you part of this? What do you want? All right, I'm trying to tell a story. Then I wake up in hospital, right, and I was off my fucking head. I know that I was off my head because I was getting, oh my God, my braces. I was getting texts from everybody responding to messages that I had sent ages before. I love this fucking dog, man. All she wants is to do this. And she has no concept of the word consent. You would make a terrible white man.
Yeah, for all the audio listeners, Bobby's just climbed on top of Lewis.
with no regard for whether or not I would enjoy that or consent or if it would be comfortable for me. She's like, hey, man, I'm going to sit there. Also, I'm 30 kilos and I smell like shit because I've been licking my ass a lot recently. Is that cool? Yeah, no worries, right? So last thing I remember before going under was the anaesthetist going, oh, hey, we're gonna give you a couple of whiskeys now. And I was like, oh, that's funny because he's actually, what do they give you? It's not whiskey, is it? Morphine?
Yeah, I have no idea.
To put you under, it's not morphine. That's like, I don't know, whatever he did. I didn't feel anything. And then I woke up after they had decapitated me in the hospital. And I was like, I don't know if, I have no like reference. I've never been high. I've never been drunk. So I don't necessarily, honestly didn't feel that different at all. Like when I was on the pain meds, I felt kind of sleepy and I felt slow, but I didn't feel like high. I didn't feel like floaty or it didn't feel good. It didn't feel bad. I just felt kind of tired. Right.
Yeah.
So, but I woke up after I had woken up. Do you know what I mean? Like my consciousness entered my brain about an hour after I had actually woken up because I checked my phone and I just been texting everyone.
Oh no, that's the worst part. See, when I got my wisdom teeth out, my mum didn't give me my phone.
Yeah.
Because I was like, where did my feet go? And I didn't realize that they were.
Feet?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
She like tried to record it, but she didn't press record. But I was like freaking out because I didn't think I had feet.
That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like, oh, I want to get one of those viral videos where I'm talking off my head. But obviously they'd fucked up my head so I couldn't speak. So for whatever reason, I checked my phone and I'm just getting texts back, heaps of texts back from people. And people that I don't normally text. Like I had some from Jazz, I had some from Luke, right? But then I had texts from people that I hadn't spoken to for months that I had texted first. And then and then every DM on Instagram I was responding to, which is very out of character for me because I barely even respond to texts from anyone, right? But I was just off my head, replying, sending shit to people. I DM'd Belle Delphine.
What?
And then she messaged me back. So now I'm just in this situation where I'm talking to Belle Delphine about her collection of Band-Aids, literally. She's a nice girl. But in my normal state of mind, I wouldn't be sending messages to Belle Delphine talking about my teeth. All above board, by the way. Very platonic chat I've been having with her, but half of the chat I was off my fucking head. And I don't recall ever messaging her. But that's not the weirdest thing, right? You'd think that waking up to a bunch of DMs from Belle Delphine would be a little bit strange. The weirdest thing was, because me and Jazz worked out I've been off my head, so she went through my phone, like having a look at what I'd been like talking to people about and sending people to make sure it was all good. Because I couldn't really, I just gave my phone. I'm like, just make sure I haven't done anything fucking stupid. And then she comes back the next day and she goes, do you know what photos you were liking while you were like, because it was like the day I got out of hospital and then the day after, I was on so many pain pills that I don't remember any of it. And I don't have any recollection of what I was doing or what I did. And then she shows me on like day 2 or 3. So I'm conscious. I'm like, I know what I'm doing now. I'm just a little bit spacey. And she goes, do you know what you've been liking? And when your girlfriend says that, you're like, oh no, it's over. What have I done? Right? And then she shows me my likes on Instagram, and I had been liking hundreds of like posts from about like Arabic weddings.
What?
Arabic weddings, Arab wedding dresses, Muslim prayer, like all of this shit. I must have just got onto a hashtag in like Arabic. I didn't recognize the language. I don't remember any of the posts, but I have like hundreds of like Muslim girls in dresses and like imams saying prayer. I don't know what the fuck they gave me, but they turned me into a Muslim for a good 2 hours there. I was just haram as fuck. I was just getting down, being haram as fuck, man. Just liking anything Arabic, Muslim, was getting a like from me. Okay? At some point, the medicine must have worn off, because then I moved on from my new Muslim belief system and started messaging Belle Delphine. So I wouldn't say that's very haram at all. But, oh no, that is haram. I wouldn't say that's not very halal. See, I'm slowly, my Muslimness is slowly wearing off. The further and further away I get away from whatever that Muslim medicine they gave me, the less I'm able to remember about my former culture.
My God. What did Jazz say about you messaging Belle Delphine?
Well, she read them, and it was all above board, so she just thought it was funny. Like, we just had a chat. She's an interesting person. I think she's a fucking genius. Like, yeah. I don't think you can be that recurringly viral without being very, very smart. Like, I reckon she really knows what she's doing. And she told me some stuff that she's got coming up, and it's really cool, which I can't say. Yeah, so that was day one of me just being off my head. And then they gave me, what did they give me? They gave me Oxy, right, to take home.
Yeah.
Which is a really, really strong painkiller. And when I thought it was funny, I'm like, oh, I've got Oxy. Because I got a lot of boys who go nuts for Oxy. So I posted a photo. I'm like, I got a whole bottle. I've never had so many, like, I felt like I was running an auction. I got so many fucking messages. $1,000, $1,500 for the bottle, $2,000 for the bottle. Let me know when you're done with it, and I'll buy whatever's left. Like, this shit, people really, really like it. And I hadn't had any, and then I'm getting all these messages. And I'm like, oh my God, this stuff is going to send me to space. If people are going to spend like $2,000 on a bottle of it, it's got to be fucking awesome. So I had some because I needed it. I was in pain, and it just put me to sleep immediately. I had some, and then within 20 minutes, I was asleep. And every time I did that, I would just fall asleep. One time I needed it during the day, and I was in bed, and I had some, and it just made me tired. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like I was high. I didn't feel happy. I didn't feel sad. I just felt like nothing. I felt numb and dumb. That's what I felt. And I was like, man, what kind of fucking horrible shit is going on in your head where you're like, man, I really need to feel nothing. It sucked. It was boring. I totally understand meth. I've never done it, but the idea of it sounds awesome. It sounds like the best thing in the world. Once, right? Not the second time and certainly not the 10th time. Time 10, your life's over. But that one, I get it. Sounds awesome, you know, but taking some shit that just turns your brain off and then makes you stupid and slow, I don't know. I didn't even really dislike it. I was like, oh, there's no point to this. So luckily, I was very, very worried about getting addicted to it though, because I read a lot about it, and they don't really tell you this like, I feel like the doctors should really tell you this, but I was reading about it because I was worried, because I know a lot about like the opium crisis in America, which is just over prescribing of medicines like Oxycontin, Oxycodone, that stuff, which is what I had. People just get really, really addicted to it because it's highly addictive, because it's heroin. It's basically what it is. So I was very mindful of it, and I started doing research about it. And it's like, even if you take the recommended dosage that you're supposed to take, by day 5, you're almost certainly scientifically addicted to it. Like 5 days. And I was prescribed to be taking it for, I think, 10 days, like once or twice a day as needed. So like, I was like, man, think about all the people that would just get hooked on that stuff. So I stopped doing it after day 3. As soon as I didn't strictly really need it for the pain, I just stopped doing it because I was worried about getting hooked on it. And also, obviously, the less of it I use, the more out of it I can sell it for.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I am a businessman. I'm not selling it. That shit is going down the drain. Because that shit's not good. So yeah, I'm back. I'm okay. What's going to happen with me now is the expander has now stopped widening my gap. And what will happen is the braces will now slowly close it. But I'm going to have a gap for a very long time. And that brings me to Gap Year, my tour that is on sale right now. Right now we've got New South Wales dates on sale and Queensland dates. So I'm going to Newcastle, Sydney, and then in Queensland I've got Brisbane and Gold Coast. These shows are smaller shows. So the idea with this tour is obviously because of a lot of the recovery stuff I've had to go through and taken so much time off. We're just trying to dial these ones back, and we want to do smaller, intimate shows, and we're going to go for like quantity of shows instead of doing like one massive one. Because last time in Brisbane I did 2 300-seaters. This time it's only like I think 70, and we just want to do it as many times as we can. Is basically the idea. So instead of doing only 2 shows, I would love to do like 5 or 6. And the reason we're doing that is because, one, I just want to kind of do as much stand-up as I can after, COVID and then this as well. I really, really miss it. And I don't want to do like, 5 major city shows and then not do stand-up again until the next year. Like, I really miss it. So I want to do it as much as I can. But also, we want to get as many clips out of it as possible so that we can just be posting clips all the time instead of posting a bunch and then having none and then waiting and then posting and then having none. So we want to keep like posting like stand-up clips 2 or 3 times a week from when we start to, ideally like at least a year. Just to kind of like really, blow up on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube Shorts and all that kind of stuff is what we really want to do. Because I think... Rosie has really figured out how to really film them very, very well and edit them well and grade them well. And we really think that the stuff we shot in Melbourne is some of the best stuff in the country, like the way that it looks and the way that it's shot. We think it's fucking incredible. And that venue wasn't ideal for shooting. The lighting wasn't great. So we think if we can do like, I don't know, 15 to 20 shows in a tour, film them beautifully, get, I don't know, like 3 to 7 clips per show, we could have like an entire year's worth of really well filmed, really, really funny stand-up crowd work and material clips that we can release for an entire year. And if we can do that, we'll just kind of blow up. It's kind of the idea, and to really just take over so that next year I can do like the biggest tour of my career. That's what I really, really want to do is next year, man, after all of this shit, and all this recovery and all the COVID and all this kind of bullshit, after having so many obstacles in the way, I just want to live on the road for a year and just do as many shows as I can, see as many people, go to all the regional places that I haven't gone to for years or have never gone to, and then, use that, post all of those clips, keep snowballing it, make it over the UK after that, and then after that, the US. So I feel really good in the sense that this recovery process is over. I've got one more surgery, but I can have that one whenever I want now, 12 to 18 months from now, but I don't have to have it straight away. Like as soon as my teeth are ready for the surgery, I can wait. I don't have to do it right then. So I can pick a less busy period instead of what I have to do now, which is pick, the most important time of the year to take off. So now is finally a time where after like 2.5 years of not being able to look more than like a week ahead, where I can go, oh, fuck, I know what I want to do next year, and I know what I need to do for an entire year to get myself into a position to do that. And this tour gap year is step one of that plan, and I would love to have you guys be part of it, have you guys involved, and man, what I want to do is just sell out those shows, and they'll be really easy to sell out. I want to sell them out in advance. They're real small shows, and I just want to keep adding them as they sell out. So loosespears.com, grab your tickets. They're super, super limited. I'm not fucking around. Brisbane is half gone. Sydney, in the pre-sale, like a third of the tickets are gone. So now's your chance. loosespears.com, more cities coming. We've got regional Vic shows. We've got some Melbourne shows. We're going to go to Tassie. We're going to go to Adelaide, Perth. We're going all over, but all of them are going to be very, very small. So I wouldn't wait on these tickets. And especially once we start dropping the stand-up clips that we filmed in Melbourne, I think they're going to go. So don't wait for them to be full and then message me and go, oh, when are you going to fucking add another one? I warned you, okay? My teeth hurt. Buy tickets. Now, I want to talk about something that I care deeply about, and that is one of the most sexist decisions I've ever seen made by a court in America that happened very recently. I am, of course, talking about R. Kelly getting convicted of 30 years for sex trafficking, but Ghislaine Maxwell only got 20, okay? This is one of the most sexist things that has ever happened in the history of the U.S. judicial system. R. Kelly got 30 years for sex trafficking. Ghislaine Maxwell only got 20. Now, that is straight white female privilege, and it's also racism at play here in the court system that we can see. I mean, I can't think of any a more sexist law or ruling that's been passed by a court in America recently. Can you?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Okay, this is crazy. All right, Ghislaine Maxwell got fucking 20 years for sex trafficking. We don't know who any of her clients are. How does that work? Who are her clients? How can you get convicted of trafficking if you're the seller and they're not going to name the buyer? They're really going to try and do that shit where they're going to go, oh, Ghislaine Maxwell organized girls for Jeffrey Epstein. And that's all they're going to talk about. Who else? We know there were other people. We know there were billionaires, politicians, celebrities, powerful people. Why aren't they also getting roped into all of this, all right? Where's Prince Andrew? What's he doing? Where's all the people that visited that fucking island that flew with Jeff? What's Bill Clinton doing? I think it's astonishing that they're just going to give Ghislaine 20 years with sex trafficking and go, yeah, she got kids for that Jeffrey Epstein guy. That's really gross. That's not on. Anyway, let's forget about all the other fucking people that were involved. And R. Kelly got 30, as he should. But it's interesting that R. Kelly gets 30 when it seems like they're both heinous crimes, but it seems like he was organizing girls for himself, and then Ghislaine was organizing girls for not only herself, but also Jeff and many, many other people. She gets less time. Interesting that no other person is named. And Ghislaine Maxwell can't even sing. She's not even a good singer. So I don't understand why she gets an entire decade less. She's never been on the Billboard Top 100. R. Kelly's been there several times. He's also been to a lot of really poor nations frequently. Suspicious. But the man can sing. It's undeniable. Ghislaine Maxwell, she was only good at sex trafficking. You know? That was her only talent. She has some nice boobs, but she's got the face of a lunch lady. That's her only redeeming quality. Not the lunch lady face, more so the rack. So I think she should also get 30 years, and maybe we should find out who her fucking clients were. It's like the biggest, like, international sex trafficking ring of, like, powerful people we've ever seen. And instead they're like, oh, let's live stream the Amber Heard trial instead. She pooed in a bed. That's pretty crazy. Women are nuts. Okay, cool. That's the one that we want to care about? That's the one where we're going to get fucking 35,000 body language expert YouTube channels set up for? To try and work out whether or not Amber Heard was pretending to cry? But we're not allowed to see what's going on at the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. We can't know who her fucking clients are. I want to know what's going on. And we never will. Julian Assange is getting like 175 years. They want to put him away for. He's getting extradited for going, excuse me, did you guys know that the US government is bombing reporters? Did you guys know that? That's his crime. Meanwhile, Bill Clinton is at Jeffrey Epstein's house in a fucking dress getting painted. Underage girls everywhere. Jeff kills himself. There's no security camera footage. Ghislaine Maxwell goes away for 20 years. She can't even sing. It's an injustice. If she released an album, would she get more time or less? I guess it depends how good the album is. You know? Like Michael Jackson, fuck, he's good, you know? Never got time. That's how fucking good Thriller is. R. Kelly, amazing singer, but doesn't have like the cultural impact. You know, he's got a few banging singles, right? But he was also into women who were aged of single digits. Lock him away. Anyway, speaking of people getting in trouble, footballers recently in Australia, AFL, not you soccer hooligans, don't call it soccer. Well then, what the fuck am I supposed to call my sport that I don't care about? I don't care about either of them, right? Collingwood football players got in trouble for this is the headline that I saw, disgusting TikTok of AFL players rating women.
That's what I saw as well. And I was like, oh shit. And then I watched the video and was like,
yeah, I saw the headline and I was like, oh yeah, that must be really gross. Because there's been like a lot of footballers who've done some real gross stuff to women. Can't remember who it was, but was it that guy who filmed Lara Bingle in the shower, sent it to all his friends?
Oh, what?
Yeah, I think he was dating Lara Bingle at the time. And my light's gone out. That's awesome. The sun's gone behind the mountain. Deep cut Luke and Lewis Tasmania reference. Yeah, so I saw that and I'm like, oh, it must be gross, right? But it's just a TikTok trend, which we have here. I'll give it a watch. I haven't seen it, right? I got Rosie to pull it up for me so I could react to it live. But don't worry. I've already formed my opinion. So I'm sure this won't change at all, okay? So this is what was described as a disgusting TikTok trend of footballers rating women.
And she's a 2, but she smells really nice. 3. Ooh. She's a 10, but got some broke up teeth. Like, them teeth are going every which way. Like, diagonal, everything. Oh.
Please say 10.
Oh.
Please say 10.
4.
Fuck.
She's a 9.5, but is homeless. 2.
What's wrong with this? I would say this is the most progressive thing a footballer has ever done, because they're not rating women purely on appearance. They're taking into account that women have personality. That's crazy. I reckon it's going to be the first time in history a footballer has ever recognized that there's another facet to a woman other than her tits. That's progress.
I don't think it should have made the news. Like, it's just a trend, and I feel like boomers don't understand that.
Yeah, it's a real common TikTok trend. He's a 10, but he finishes every story with, it is how it is, what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
But it also, I've seen some, like, funny ones, and I feel like that one wasn't funny. It was just gross.
Well, that's because they're athletes, and athletes don't have brains. But it could be worse, you know, if you know, this is a trend where you rate women. If it was rugby players, they would have switched that T into a P. So what I'm saying is I think this is good for football and good for women in general, because a footballer has gone, look, yes, she's attractive, but have you considered how this might affect your relationship with her? That's deep levels of thinking for footballers everywhere. And I'm surprised that they even could count higher than 5. So I think that's great, and I think that it proves that society is progressing. Speaking of progressing, guys, today's episode is sponsored by Manscaped.com. All right? The best personal groomer in the game. Have you ever not showered for 3 weeks because you were off your head on pain pills after getting decapitated? And then looked down at yourself in the shower and gone, what's going on here? After being bedridden for 3 weeks, unable to shower, wearing the same pair of pajama pants, sitting in your own filth, and you get in the shower and you're like, man, I can't wash this, I gotta get rid of it. Well, I have. And thank God Manscaped.com was here for me with the Lawnmower 4.0, the best personal groomer in the game. And you can use code SPEARS for 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code SPEARS. Support the brands that support the show. They've got a bunch of products. They've got nose hair trimmers. They've got underwear now, which is actually quite good. They have, what else do they have? They have chapstick, which I used religiously because my lips hurt so much and my lips were so chapped and fucked after the surgery. I was using the Manscaped lip balm chapstick, and it was great. It helped me. I actually got medicated stuff, and I preferred the Manscaped one. So I don't know what that says about the medicated stuff, but I know that it means the Manscaped stuff is good. So manscaped.com, use code SPEARS for 20% off and free shipping. The Lawnmower 4.0 and whatever else you'd like on their site. Support the brand, support the show. They've been sticking with me for like ages now, well over a year, and they've been really good to me. So you guys got to be good to them, okay? There's one thing that I've learned from taking 6 weeks off, not being able to work, but still having employees. It is the value of tracking your finances and what's coming in and what's coming out, especially when nothing's coming in but a heaps is coming out. And that's why I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Wii Money. Hi, I'm Lewis Spears, and I love tracking my finances. How good is tracking finances? It's almost tax time, and with the Wii Money app, you can not only track all of your finances from your bank account to your buy now, pay later loans, it can even track your crypto worth. The Wii Money app tracks it all. Wii Money. It's a financial wellness app aimed at helping Australians manage their financial lives. So don't just take my word for it. With over 250,000 downloads and a mind-blowing 4.5-star average review, Wii Money is the obvious choice when it comes to financial wellness. Download the Wii Money app today and tell them I sent you by using my link in the description. John Barilaro. All right, we might end it on here. John Barilaro is in the news again. Now, I thought we were done with this guy who allegedly looks like a meatball. And yes, that's a word that I now have to say. Because as much as I admire Friendly Geordies, all right, there's one thing that he has that I don't want, and that's to have to raise $1 million and then spend all of it on lawyers. You know, I would rather just raise the $1 million. You know, Jordan is a better man than me, because if I launched a crowd fund and raised $1 million, I might go on a holiday. You know? I might buy a jet ski. In fact, I might right now get a private investigator to follow Friendly Jordies around, because I would not be surprised to see that guy having a jet ski in his garage that he doesn't use anymore. That he just went, well, fuck, I got to get a jet ski. I will say this. Jordan's a much better man than me, because I 100%, right, would let Keelan go to prison. You know? Because Jordan had his defamation lawsuit and he fought that using the money. But then one of his employees also got in trouble, was arrested. Christo. Now, luckily, it happened to Christo and not Keelan, because if it happened to Keelan, I would let him go to prison, and I think that Keelan would understand that.
Would he?
Yeah, I think so. I think I would call him. I go, man, I raised $1 million. I spent 300 of it on my legal defense, and I love you, dude, but they just came out with this new 2-seater jet ski that just goes so fast, and he would understand. And he would say, you know what? I'll see you in 5 years. We can ride it together. And that's why, you know what? Maybe that doesn't say much about Jordan and me. That says more about Keelan.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So maybe Jordan isn't a good guy. I'm not a bad person. Keelan just has really low standards when it comes to an employer. I think we settle on that. So John Barilaro is back in the news, and I thought we were done with that guy, right? He gets exposed for all of this stuff, for appearing to be quite shady. So John Barilaro, all his videos come out, all his news articles come out, and he looks not great in them. And a lot of things come out that he probably didn't want to come out. His marriage ends, he resigns, he steps down, he gets investigated. All of this stuff happens to the guy. And then I thought we were done with him. Even Jordan stops talking about him. They're like, all right, well, you're not a public member anymore. You're not a politician anymore. You've gone from being a representative of the people to a private citizen. We're all going to leave you alone. I think that's fair. I think that's great. Then recently it comes out that John Barilaro snagged himself a $500,000 a year government job in New York, where it'll be his job, a newly created role that's never existed before. It'll be his job to live in New York. I assume all expenses paid plus his wage.
Yeah.
Right? Travel, rent, probably food. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then he gets his new trade commissioner job, and his job is to just talk to rich people in America and try to get them to invest in Australia. Like, that's a role that we need. Like some weird fake job. Like clearly bullshit, fake, cushy, $500,000 a year to live in one of the best cities in the world on taxpayer money, doing something that has no real quantitative results, no real KPIs that you can hit or fail to hit. Just, hey man, what did you do today? Oh, I hung out with a bunch of rich guys and we had drinks together. And I told them they should start up a store in Australia. And they said, yeah, it sounds like a cool idea. Great job. Thanks, man. Great work. Right? So some clearly made up bullshit fake job, right, gets announced and John gets the job. And everyone immediately is like, hang on a minute. That is sus. How did he get this job? And they come back and they go, well, this was a newly created role, and the role was created by John Barilaro's department. So he created the role. It didn't exist. He created it when he was in politics, and then when he leaves politics, he gets this job that he created, right? So everyone immediately is like, hey, that sounds even more sus. What the fuck is going on there? So they come back and they go, no, it's all good. This is actually the result of an extensive job search with a third party. And they decided that John was the most qualified person for the role. So it's all good because it was an extensive search. But then the people who did the job searching and did the hiring said that they actually found a more suitable candidate, a woman, and offered her this job, right? She was going to get the job, and then the day before John Barilaro resigned from politics, they were instructed to take the job away from this woman. The day before he resigns. And then he resigns, and then he gets the job. And I don't know if this is true. I believe the woman that was offered the job got paid out because she was offered the job. And then they took it away. So they gave her a fuckload of money. It's like, oh, sorry for wasting your time and maybe making you quit your other job. And then they give it to John. And now everyone's going, this is clearly not above board. This is suspicious as fuck. What's going on? This looks incredibly corrupt. Looks like the guy may have only resigned because he knew he had this cushy, invented fake job lined up for him that he himself created. And so now he's probably going to lose the job, but built into the contract, which I assume had heavy input from the man himself, he'll get paid out. The guy is a fucking genius. That's the smartest shit I've ever fucking seen in my life. Not only did he create his dream job where he didn't really have to do fucking anything other than eat expensive sushi with American businessmen in New York with someone else's money while also getting $500,000 a year to spend on shoes. I don't know. He doesn't have a wife anymore. Prostitutes. Not saying John would do that because I know he's a very litigious man. And they built into the contract, if you lose the job, you get paid out. I can't hate him anymore. I can't. He's gone so far down that path that it's now flipped around, and I respect it. Scam king. He's just a scam king. Isn't that the end goal for every single person working in the Australian government? To just get as much as they can for as little as possible without doing fucking anything for the actual people? Isn't that all of their goal deep down on the inside? That's what they're all trying to do is, I gotta fucking get through this bullshit so that I can get my real fake job at the end of it. They're all there pretending to be politicians so they can get some fucked up, fake, invented job at the end of it because they did a few favors for a few people while they were in power. How many fucking politicians are working for banks now? How many politicians are now working for mining companies? How many politicians are working in jobs that they themselves invented while they were in office because they thought it would be a cool job for themselves to do after they retired from their job where they pretended to be a politician? And how many of them are actually doing shit to benefit actual Australian people? I'm just upset because dental isn't covered by Medicare. That's what that rant was inspired by. My teeth hurting. So anyway, John, well done. I can't hate it anymore. I'm officially done hating, and I got to bow down, and I have to respect the level of hustle. And if you're mad about it, it's because you don't work hard enough. And being poor is your fault. I'm trying to join the Liberal Party.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because they get the best jobs after they leave politics. If you look it up, it's a strange coincidence. Right. Well, I think I'm gonna end it there, guys, because my mouth is starting to hurt. I think these the podcast episodes will get longer and longer as I kind of heal and get a bit better. But at the moment, because I'm still expanding my, the bone's not fused. I'm still healing. I'm still in a bit of pain, but I'm well enough to do this. And by the time the tour comes around in September, I'm going to be all cylinders firing. And so we're going to end it there. I'm going to continue on for the Patreon podcast, which will be up right now on Patreon. You get access to all episodes early, and every single week you get an exclusive episode of Spearhead Sundays that is just as good, if not sometimes better, than this. If you have a look, listen to last week's episode, that was a Patreon episode that we just released for free because we wanted to give you guys an idea of what we do on the Patreon podcast. Last week's episode is very funny. I recommend it. And I'll talk to you guys next Sunday. Grab tickets, louisspears.com, and I will see you at the shows. We also drop the merch too. I forgot to say, the Alpha Energy Winter Collection is out right now, okay? Let's get into the Patreon episode. I'll talk to you soon, and I hope you have a shit one. Bye.